Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to do the weekly Be It Be, the open discussion about the occult and magicians and witchcraft. So, as we see it, you just can't do. So when you can't do it, I'm seeing like people can't cry, people have like GI upset, people have a hard time like completing out a task, and they just can't mentally do it today, like think about it and do anything of that nature. So when we see it and we actually do like our craft or anything of like how we practice it, we can't see it coming, which means why is there still residual from this full moon? Because we see the new moon and usually it does call out, but really it was calling upon to make good bonds and ties and tethers and connections and solidify and like do these things to get it done. And when we say it, we say, what was like a ton of a fun. So I'm looking at the Marine Corps and I'm seeing Ton Tavern and I'm seeing it. They're like, this are like a quick connection. It really wasn't hard. It really flowed through easy. That's all you need to know. So as I'm looking at it and I'm seeing more like discussion come back out again about the occult, and we see Karen Reed doing, this today. She's doing this today. And then everything is like good because she's acquitted, but then it's clear the charges. And you can't even see it coming whatsoever. What do? These signs and these symbolisms that people are like, here it goes. It's coming back again. What is true? What is not? But it is due. Whatever it is, it was due. So when we look at it and we go, wow, you can't even. Hard and fast enough. What is true of that? You can't even do it. You can't even do it. So here we go. When I see this, I go, premonitions already. My face, my nose, I'm sneezing. The Phoenix in reverse, this card, means there's no blending well. When you see the Five of Swords, you see how difficult everything came through. When you see the Nine of Pentacles, it's assurance. Here's that word again, it's assurance. When you see the Eight of Wands, you go, it truly is like contentment to orders. Like you look at like, oh, okay, I got this like thing for my boss and I'm really happy with this. Like I'm really, really happy. When you see like everything come through the mail, like this is good. I'm happy. When you see a page of church, it's short-lived though. It's short-lived all the way through. Like you're like, okay, it's tomorrow. It's really until July, end of July. You don't know when it's going to end. The Queen of Swords comes in reverse. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The Ace of Wands, it's not the beginning that you wanted. I'm really not seeing anything major until August. And they go, that is how backlogged people got. Like, what kind of stuff is this? Because then you look at it and you see this Ten of Swords. It does, like, alleviate. Then all of a sudden you're like, why? Look at the news. Look at the news. It is touch and go. So let's actually talk about Israel. Let's actually talk about Iran. Let's talk about politics flowing in to where we see Karen Reed acquitted today. The Four of Swords in reverse means there is an unrest. Why am I talking about Karen Reed on the occult, the magicians, and witchcraft on a Be It Be? The Nine of Cups says that you can't do nothing, but you can get it done. You can get it done, a DUN. That's illegal. You can't talk about DUN. It really is nasty. when you put it right out there on a DUN, can you spell? That's one of the issues out here in Connecticut, is that our kids couldn't spell or write or read. That is how we talk about things of this nature where the president says, I think it's a witch hunt. I think you need to get a witch to a high priestess and sit and pick it apart and seeing who's doing it correctly and who isn't, down to the aggravated assault. So when I see the celestial weaver, it really is a wind blow of wind currents. And as wind currents go through, when they have all these instances, it conjures energy. It breaks us down. We don't feel well. We're sluggish. We're not going to be in the best. It causes a type of detriment that you can't make it unknown. When you see the Page of Pentacles, you do see like everything the way it should be in policy, procedure, and protocol, but it's not through. And everyone's like, I swear to God, I'm not delaying anything. When you see the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it's unsecurements, though. Let's go back to it. When you see the Three of Wands, why are they like what was going on with Juneteenth? What was going on with, this 4th of July to the No Kings? Because you can protest, but you can't celebrate. You can't do a ritual. So when I see the Six of Swords actually come through, I look at it and go, it really is hard. It is hard out there right now. Everything is going okay, though. Are you sure about that? I don't know. It's a halt stop. There's something about a halt stop in this week. A halt stop. All right. As I'm listening in the background in the house with the tone of voice of the newscasters, of the media, they are agitated on bringing it forward. They do not like what is coming forward whatsoever. So let's look at the crystal quartz. You can't see it coming, then all of a sudden it feels like a slam in the face because your sinus infection is worse. Where is this going? So when I see lights flicker and I feel like a storm is conjuring, I can't even blow it. I can't even blow it. When I see blue, you can't do it now. Do it now. Do it now. And I say, why am I doing all this now? All right, Seven of Spades means it's going to come in and spearmint. I don't know why I'm saying spearmint. Toothpaste, spearmint leaves, and spearmint gum. Aviator. That's all you need to know. When you see this and you see this to go through, you have to say it was hard getting that out. When you see the Queen of Hearts to the Ace of Spades, no way. Queen of Hearts, Ace of Spades, lines. I see lines. When I see the Queen of Clubs to the Two of Spades, I see more issues with the gangs. When I see Five of Hearts and the Jack of Diamonds, just make sure that you have enough in case something happens in the neighborhood. Do the best that you can when it comes to medical care and anything else on keeping up. When you see the Two of Clubs, all of a sudden you say, yeah, you need almost 2 or 3 people around you to verify that it was true. It was true. When you see the Two of Diamonds, I don't know why, because that's a 10 of diamonds. And then you see the King of Spades. Locks. So there's something about July 1st. When you look at throughout the country, July 1st, for your pistol permits and everything, it has to be like highly secured. Highly secured. I would say 3 locks. When you see the Queen of Diamonds to the 6 of Spades, you go, I think it might be. When you can't even believe it, how hard it is on a through. Queen of Diamonds to the 6 of Diamonds on a 2, you can't even sue. You can't even sue. That's harsh because it's coming right in from the community. A lot of times it's parole, it's probation, it is people who are acting up. They're like haywire. Haywire. When you see the Jack of Hearts come out, like you're so happy you were able to cut the grass. You can't even make it up. Animal Spirit Oracle. As far as occult, magicians, and witchcraft, what do we need to know with the animals? This one is like a hold on through, a hold on through. Frog, lamb, and oyster. It has happened before in the 90s where when you eat and you drink and hydrate and you get some sleep, you wake up, it's done. When you see the snake, it's from the 50s. How would that happen? When you actually practice the way that you're supposed to, it comes part of routine. So you get up and you shower and you get up and you do all these things so hard that nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. Here we go. Play it in Oracle. There's like, I'm hearing like all sorts of like energy getting thrown right now. Creativity, yes, a lot coming through. All of a sudden, new businesses, taking chances, new businesses. When you see Maya, it is like a type of explosion. It's not natural. It's not related to the Middle East or anything, or play on words or poking fun or being disrespectful. But when you see sacred geometrics, it literally is in the math. When you see Marope, you have to say, look at the whole instance of constellations and like pay attention to your dreams again. When you see galactic core, like it's just not sitting well with you. When you see Ashtar though, watch the animal behavior. Watch your animal's behavior. All of a sudden it feels like this was not supposed to happen and we're going forward too fast. All right. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. White Sage Tarot. Here it is. On the floor. 2 of Pentacles. Dropped. Just dropped. 4 of Pentacles unsecured. 3 of Cups. It means like it would be okay for 4th of July. It is difficult. But the 6 of Wands goes, man, oh man, man, oh man. There was something still not right. It is a victory. When I see that victory, I see hold on out and watch how it plays out in the rest of the world. Because a flag comes in And then the rod for the flag staff, I can't even like say it. It really goes like, watch how their eyes are. When you see the full, like the recklessness, when you see the Emperor and then the Queen of Swords, like, what were you guys doing? When you see the World and the Hermit, like, universal precautions. There's like universal precautions. A lot. Still, again, why is this in July? Like, COVID, bird flu, universal precautions. 10 of Wands, difficulty. Like, and like, all of a sudden, like, summer ends abruptly. And it's not the best. How is that actually like part of the occult and the magicians and witchcraft? Because as a magician, like, it can cut out and do a lot of things to the witchcraft. It could just be simple as burning incense and you see it all of a sudden and you hear it and you feel it, to keeping up with a routine, to like stirring your coffee, to making your favorite meal, to anything of that nature, and all of a sudden you're like, everyone's catching it at the same time and everyone's on the same page, like, it's not right, it's not right, it's not right. Then it causes a pause. I would say don't intervene and don't intercept and don't like lock and block it. Let it flow. Let it flow. It is hard to keep up with it. It almost, like, for some people who practice this like a little bit higher and a little bit harder, you feel muscle fatigue, like you've been exercising. So when you see this and you go forward, you actually have to set wow. You have to set wow. So that is actually setting with a little bit of like authoritative. I usually don't during the day. I usually take a break. I don't have to around my kids or my husband. I don't have to practice power or anything like that. And power just literally means like sitting solid hard, because I'm not going to do a ritual. I don't have to do a ritual. I just get up and have a cup of coffee and hopefully like the dog's not in my face. In reality, it's the star and you see the King of Cups. So, going back and going forward to the highest degree, there's some like nasty injustice when it comes to like any type of religious. And it's really not digging it, but it is true. Depending on how they're practicing their religion, they can mess up true religious practices and rituals. So knowing safe practices, from what I have studied about Luciferianism, it is literally like a vegan. They really the true ones are like, I don't eat meat, I don't do whey, I don't do milk, I don't do anything. I eat this. Like, I had GI upset so bad. And then it goes to Satanism. And when it goes to Satanism, I sit alone. I sit alone. I don't go off the beaten path. I don't like drink blood. I don't do all these things. Now, when it actually goes back to like studying demonology and anything of that nature, demonology, no, throw it right out the door. Throw it right out the door right now. That literally means you're like holding on to nasty energy that you're willing to alter yourself to instill fear. You can't instill fear. You cannot. Can you incite fear? Well, I have to say, like, inciting fear in a time of war, definitely into your enemy. That's proper if you're in the military. Even a little bit of law enforcement of a no can go. But when it actually comes to a daily life of inciting fear, then you just can't go. You just can't go. Now, when you actually see it through, and I'm picking up the selenite as part of like magic, you can't go and you can't so low. Like, you can't even get to the Supreme Court on this one because it's religious factor. And then you go XYZ, and then it goes to transgenderism. It really is a curse because they're haywire in their body. You got to do everything and anything and something to nothing to get it out on, like, are they seeing straight? Are they a clear mind? Like, do they need a CAT scan? Do they need everything? I don't think we have to go that far. Then it's knowing. When you go to NO, to knocking it out, to KNOW, like they'll knock it out, whatever you say, it's already so intuitive, instinctive to go like past whatever anyone says that they're just going to be. So just let them be. Just let them be. It really is okay at this point. Now, when it comes to posing and imposing and gets down to criminal activity with any of these political ways, up to LGBTQ plus, down to coven law or anything of that nature, are they really doing anything wrong by sitting? It's really hard to tell. So when you really look and dig deep, you have to see it through. You have to see it through. Now, I know it's a little intense and a little is like a hard topic, but as we go through and we're sipping our tea, sometimes it's just little things like, I already know I'm not well because I'm chewing gum, or I'm sipping on tea, or I'm eating comfort foods, where like tonight it's June 18th and it goes, come on kids, let's actually have a bowl of soup and settle down, because whatever severe weather is coming in riled us up so hard we couldn't see it coming. Like I said, I would sing a hallelujah in a storm because it finally got through. All right. Now, going down to Catholicism, there really isn't anything major. You can't, because when you light a candle, you ask for intentions, it reveals the truth of intentions. It's a little bit of magic. When you're kneeling and you're praying, you're calling upon a war. You're like a personal war that you're presenting forward and congregating. That's not illegal. So when you actually go through it, it's true. Now, when you go to religion and separation of church and state, it has multiple meanings. So when you go to representatives and other things, you have to actually be straightforward, literally straightforward. When you do separation of church and state, it really is a mindset. And when you do that mindset, it's able to use your whole mind and say, right now I'm at church. So when you're doing church, you're doing your religious aspect. But when you actually flow through it, because religious law is different from constitutional law to state and federal law through the general statutes, you can't even see it coming. You can't, because when it comes to coven law, I can wait almost 78 years before I pursue forward, because most likely I was a devil's advocate. I'm waiting. So when I look at it and I see portal, doors opening, you decide, rewards, wild card, there's a lot opening with energy. When you see the golden children, you see inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. I swear you see everything. And then when you go, stop, embrace winter, cosmic move, it's already telling you an energy that it is okay to hunker down and lock it down again in the winter and see what happens. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Exactly what we have been looking for. Here we go. Literary Witch's Oracle. Always remember, a witch is someone who can cut with their words. What are the locks that we need to see for the week? What haunts us? It came out immediately. What you already see playing out for the week. Foreseeing, foresight, forecomings. There it is. Not sitting well. I don't know why I see an increase in UTIs. What is actually true? So we had the birds falling. We had that. We're recapping again. Each week we do a little bit of a recap. I can't even do. Like, I can't. I'd have to say it'd be too much like of a foretelling. I would say look at the golden egg. I would actually study Asian lore and mythology this week and see if you can get it done. And when you actually get it done, say, look at the snake and look at the dragon. Because the tiger wasn't well. It's odd. That's like a number 37 in numerology. In cartomancy, it's a flush of poker cards. It relates the Queen of Wands to the star to everything that just can't get done. It feels like the Tower card, but it really isn't. It's the Emperor in reverse. When you see everything else play out, the runes, we haven't even gotten to runes. It's about attunement. I would say look at Reiki, look at chiropractic, look at everything that comes forward. It was odd. Odd. Here we go. Black obsidian runes. Something of a gift that was like solid, that was in the public. This is heinous. They brought a lot of joy. When I see this, I don't know why I see stripes. Like an old gun with like tiger, like stripes. Old gun, like from the 90s. I don't know why I said gun. Birth. Nadis. It happened at night. Ulcer. Like collecting. Heinous. Heinous. Instinct. And then defensive. So I'm looking at airports. I'm looking at birds. I'm looking at eggs. Like how Asia would bury eggs. I'm looking at morals. I'm looking at ethics. I'm looking at like continuances on. I'm seeing like all forms of illegal substances. I'm seeing every type of crime. But when you sit, you're like, I'm still not well. How come? You couldn't even do. You couldn't even see it coming on who would do it to the highest degree of resolve. So this is rare. So we'll spin the pendulum. It is like a helicopter parenting, reversing, but it's not. You couldn't even see it. I see paperwork. I hear like Charleston Heston again, as it is written, it shall be done. I see Son of Sam. I'm seeing all these things. It's right in front of you. It's all about a certain type of substance and what it can do to people. It's so bad. So when you look at it and it slows down and it almost slams in the face, you couldn't do it hard enough at all. Whoo, Lord. So that is how it is. I swear, you wake up and you're like, it was right in my face. So when we talk about crimes, like at least out here, it's like the Tallinn 3 case, the 3 girls who went missing. You have no idea what happened. And then you have strange sketches. And then all of a sudden, you have Jennifer Farber Dulos just like gone. They're gone. Like walking away, like car left. These are the strange disappearances, like you have no traces. And then you go, there's something else. Locked. Like all of a sudden, locked. And then done. You can't even do. You can't even do. So with that being said, that's all you need to know for today. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. We're going to end abruptly tonight. Send an email, a subscribe. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.